name is Amanda, and welcome to The Done Creative. For today's pick a card reading, we are going to be figuring out what you can expect for the week ahead. And this is my third weekly reading that I've been doing here on my channel as of late. And so far, the consensus has been, let's keep with the weekly readings. So here we are once again. So if you're new to pick a card readings, I just ask that you close your eyes, take a couple of deep cleansing breaths to try to center your energy and focus in on piles number 1, 2, or 3. And if more than one pile calls out to you, there may be messages in each pile for you. And once you've selected your pile or piles, you can go ahead and check the description box below for the timestamps, and I also try to pin them as the top comment. So remember, these are general readings. Only take what resonates with your life and leave the rest behind. I am reading for a lot of different energies these days, so not everything in the pile will resonate 100%. If it does, that's great, but if not, don't worry about it. So without delaying this any further, let's give you a moment to meditate on the cards, and I will see you over at your reading. Alright, group number 1. So those of you who chose the Mintaken, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, so please forgive my mispronunciation. The Mintaken card, longing for home, belonging, the original light worker. So especially if you guys are on a more spiritual path or a light worker path, or you really resonate with the terms like starseed, light worker, you don't feel like you fit in on this earth, and that maybe you're not from here, or that you feel like you're here to make a difference and make a new world, a better world, then you definitely picked the right pile, because this week you're going to feel this sense of belonging that maybe you haven't felt in a long time. And even I just heard come home to yourself. So some of you may really be feeling comfortable in your own skin for the first time in a very long time. And you're coming home to yourself. You're no longer longing to be anywhere but where you are this week. It's like you're really grounded in your body. And ways to get grounded would be to get out in nature, especially if you can do it barefoot. I know in some parts of the world that's not always feasible if there's snow or rain, or it's just really not very warm out. But for you guys this week, grounding I think is going to really help you feel at home in your skin, and it's going to feel good, because I think many of you for the past weeks, months, even year or 2 years or more years, it's felt like you can't get comfortable where you are. You don't feel like anything is home. But this week things are changing. They feel good. They feel comfortable. They feel safe. I just heard some of you finally feel safe for the first time in a long time. And it may not even be anything on the exterior that has happened. No external situation or circumstance that has happened that you can really point to, be like, this is why I feel safe now. It's just, it feels for most of you, and I'm just stuttering over my words because I just want to get all this information out, but it feels to me for most of you that this is just this feeling that's coming from within, from your soul, from the universe, from your guides, from your angels, that is really just reassuring you that you are on the right path. You are safe. You are protected. Keep going. I just heard keep going. So whatever it is you're doing, keep going. Okay, let's go ahead and get some more guidance for pile number 1 for the week ahead. What can group 1 expect for the week ahead? And I want this one. Oh, wow. So we have inspiration, and I'm not sure if that's even really showing up on my camera because I do have the darker background today, but what this is saying to me, that last little message I got for some of you about keep going, is about a creative endeavor or a business idea that you have, something that's really inspired you as of late that, you know, you can see, I don't know, maybe you can't, if you can see this card here, her belly looks like that solar plexus area is just totally activated, like she's inspired. Inspiration usually comes from a more sacral chakra area. But for me, with this card, this is like that sacral and that solar plexus have merged to create this orangish yellow spark of just complete inspiration. So if you are getting these inspirations this week, they are divinely guided. Your guides, your angels, the universe itself is sending you these inspirations because it's time that you move forward. And remember, it said keep going, and now I'm hearing move forward. So if you've had an idea on the back burner for a long time, this is just letting you know that this week is kind of a kickoff point for you guys to get, hit the ground running. And I keep hearing all these little cliches, but it's so true with you guys that it's time to get to work. And I think many of you have been a little bit road weary because you have been to work. But there are things, that you've been working on that are more, shadow work and all of that. This is more of a fun thing. An inspiration is something you're passionate and excited and ready to dive into, and just coming from this place of joy within. So this isn't more shadow work. This is something you can really get excited about this week. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some more information about Group 1 and what they can experience this week. Alright, so we've got, oh my gosh, so you and your loved ones are safe. What was I saying about you guys feeling safe? That longing for home, belonging, the original light workers, what we were getting from this card, I just kept hearing you are safe. You are protected, you are safe, which is very, we are using the Archangel Michael deck here. But when I hear you are safe, you are protected in my own, meditations or just in my own life, I know 9 times out of 10 that's coming from Archangel Michael, because he is one of my dominant guides. So you guys may also have Archangel Michael as a guide, or you just can really feel his presence with you this week. But whatever it is you're going through, I just see someone having to have some medical tests done, or someone else, there's a just really big pivotal point in your life for some of you coming up this week, taking some sort of entrance exam to get into some sort of class or school even. But just know that whatever it is you're going through, that my heart rate's picking up just experiencing what you guys are experiencing. But just know you are safe, you are protected. If it is something medical, even if you're waiting for a diagnosis, even if it comes back as something you just did not want to have to experience, just know that you are safe. You're experiencing these things because your soul wanted you to go through these things. So if this is something really scary, Archangel Michael, your other guides, your angels, your crossed over loved ones, they're all holding your hand and they're all with you and ready to help you. All you have to do is ask for their help, and you can even call on Archangel Raphael to help you if you have some little medical ailments or issues. It doesn't have to be you going to a doctor to try to figure out something. This just could be something as simple as a neck ache or back pain that you've been experiencing on and off. This doesn't have to be as extreme as the example I used, but it's going to resonate differently for each of you. So take what resonates for you, but just know that you are protected, you are safe. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some additional guidance for Group 1 this week. This one kind of flip-flopped, so we're going to grab it. So we have soul solitude, and it says here, your soul needs attention. There are moments when it's important to get away, not just from the noise of the outside world, but to find a place where your soul can experience peace and quiet, a place of soul solitude. This is a time for pause, a time to reflect, a time for you. Absolutely. Remember what I had said about coming home to yourself in this card? It's almost like I channeled everything that we're going to just kind of expand on in this one card. I love when that happens. That validates for me that I'm connected to your guys' guides, to your energy, to give you the exact messages you need. And now my crown chakra is tingling, and I just love when that happens. So really, this is very hermit energy, but I'm feeling also high priestess. So it's almost like you're really discovering, that coming home to yourself. You're really tapping into the more higher consciousness part of yourself, the higher self, the more evolved part of yourself. And that's why these inspirations are flowing in, because the High Priestess card, the High Priestess is really tapped in. And also that Hermit, the Hermit is also very tapped in, because the Hermit doesn't allow for a lot of distractions going on. So this may just be saying for you guys to kind of integrate your more Hermit and High Priestess sides this week, to just go within and really discover what it is your soul is wanting you to know, because there are answers to what you seek within. There is this window within you that you can, peek into and get answers. And for some of you, this could be about creative solutions to problems you have in your life, or just divinely guided creative ideas for a book, a new painting, a business, whatever it is for you. It's going to resonate differently for each of you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a little more guidance. And actually, I think I do want to grab one more of these so I can make a pretty even table here. Don't want it to be too uneven looking. So you're going to get an additional message this week, group 2. So what is your additional message? Okay. So we have trust, and absolutely this goes hand in hand with that soul solitude card, because a lot of us have trouble trusting ourselves, trusting our own intuition, trusting that we know what's best for us rather than a parent or, some outer authority that's not us. But it says here, trust. While your logical mind is dictating a supposedly clear direction, your soul's inner guidance is urging you to follow an alternative path. The logical path may be one that you consider safe and more familiar, but you could be missing out on boundless opportunities and so much more. And again, stepping out of your comfort zone. I know we had talked about feeling comfortable for the first time in yourself in a long time with this card, but this is saying, you can still step out of your comfort zone and still be safe and protected because your guides and angels have your back right now. And learning to trust that inner compass. There is a compass here on this card. So learning to trust that inner compass. Both of these cards have, this heart chakra like portal going on here. So that, and then chakra work going on here. So I think maybe chakra work, a chakra lit up there. But I think chakra work might be, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's not chakra, it's chakra. But I just have always pronounced it that way, and I know it's kind of about a 50-50 split. Some people say chakra, some say chakra. But that's beside the point. But what I'm really getting is that, maybe your chakras are balancing, or you're doing that work to really get yourself in order, and your chakras are more aligned and, more open and more spinning freely is just what I see, like spinning freely. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a self-care message for group number 1 this week. What can group 1 do this week for some self-care? And this one bent, so we're taking it. Okay, so we have connect with crystals. So this could be a good time. If you don't have a lot of crystals, you can go in a crystal shop or to some sort of gem show, or even look online, because I know a lot of people say if you want to get a crystal, you want to be able to be around it, but I've had nothing but good luck buying crystals on eBay or other online stores. I just put the intention out before I push that, shop or, the cart and finish ending with my payment. I put the intention out there that whichever crystal is selected to be mailed to me, that it will be the exact crystal I need. And it always has been. I mean, it's never done me wrong. So if you can't physically get out and go to a crystal store or a gem shop of some sort, you can always order things online. And eBay, I feel almost guilty sometimes about the small or low prices I pay for a lot of my crystals on eBay. So, whatever resonates for you. If you already have crystals, even if you just use them more as decorations, you can pull them off your shelf and hold them. Really connect with them. Cleanse them either in the full moon or in the sun. I know some crystals aren't able to be cleansed in the sun, but if they are, amethyst is not a good one to put in the sun because it will fade the beautiful purple color, but you can even do like salt water, and again, some of them can't go in water, so you will have to figure out whichever kind of crystal you have, and then Google best ways to cleanse that specific crystal. But connecting with crystals, using them in your meditations in this, high priestess and hermit energy is really going to help you connect beyond. It's going to be great. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a quick love messages and we're going to get a message for both our couples and our singles from the same card. Okay, what can group 1 expect in their love life this week? Oh, I want this one because it just flipped right out at me. Okay, so we have the soulmate card. So it says here, yes, this is your soulmate. And for some of you that are coupled, we'll just start with the couples message. You may, if you've been with this person long term, you already know they're your soulmate. This is just further validation that yes, this is your soulmate. But for those of you who were kind of newer in the relationship, you may be going back and forth. Is this a soulmate? Is this not? Absolutely, this person is a soulmate. And I'm getting twin flame vibes for some of you. So if that resonates, then that is for you as well. But then for my singles, this soulmate card is just letting you know that there is. It says, yes, this is your soulmate, but just know there is a soulmate out there for you. Multiple soulmates. There's not just one soulmate that we all have in our lives. Soulmates don't always have to be romantic either, but what I'm really getting from this is that if you are kind of dejected and feeling alone, like you'll never find that partner, this is letting you know that yes, there are soulmates out there for you, and divine timing is at play, again with this connection that you have to spirit. Divine timing is at play, and you will eventually be able to connect with these soulmates or a soulmate if that's what you desire. Okay, group number 1, that's all I'm seeing for you, but I really do hope this resonated and gave you a little bit of guidance on your week ahead. If so, you'll have to let me know below what you thought, and as always, you guys, thanks again so much for all your likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things, and I really truly do hope to see you right here back at the Den Creative. Alright, bye! Alright, group number 2, let's go ahead and find out what you can expect for the week ahead. And to start you out, we have the card you use to select your pile, which is the protection card. It says here, call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. So many of you, this was a bit of a theme in group number 1 as well, but many of you have been feeling unsafe. So whether that is unsafe in a relationship, unsafe feeling, at home within your own body, unsafe with the state that the world is in, this is going to be different for each of you. And remember, these are general readings, so only take what resonates for your situation. But really, the crux of this card, what it all comes down to is just calling back your power. Where is it that you're giving your power away? Where is it that you're feeling like a victim or like someone's got one over on you? Those are going to be the areas that you're really going to be working on and focusing on this week, because we also have cut the cords here. And I know there are a lot of cord cutting meditations online, and I always try to get the message out to people who watch my videos that I believe cord cutting is an amazing practice, an amazing thing to do. But instead of cutting the cords, I say, if you're the one cutting them or your guides, I say instead of cutting them, pull them out by the roots, because when we cut off, and those of you who followed my channel for a while, you hear this all the time, but I want to reiterate it for anyone who's just coming in and hearing this, because it's so very important. But when we cut those weeds off right at the ground or the dirt, we cut the head off the dandelion or the root, we leave the root, and then the weed, 9 times out of 10, will come back thicker and hardier than ever, and then we're really, got some work to do. So for me, instead of cutting cords, I call them cord pulling meditations, where you pull the cords out by the roots and release those cords for good, and the energy that they were sucking the life from out of you, that will stop happening, and you will be able to take your power back. And then this soul retrieval, there is some soul retrieval meditations or exercises you can do if you feel like parts of your soul are missing. But to me, I still feel like we are connected. But if you feel the need to do some sort of soul retrieval work this week, that's absolutely your prerogative if you choose to do so. But if that part doesn't resonate, then just leave that part of the reading out. Okay, so let's go ahead and get additional guidance for your week ahead, group 2. Group 2 expect for the week ahead. I want this one right about here. Okay, so this makes so much sense with what we were talking about with the cutting the cords or the pulling the cords, because you have the closure card here. You're walking away from something that's not serving you. This could be a situation, a job, a person. Again, general reading, going to be different for each of you. But I see for some of you, this is just taking your power back from past relationships that maybe are still affecting you to this day. And for many of you, this is like, I'm really seeing a relationship with a father that has really tainted your love life, especially if you're someone who's attracted to men. Your relationship or lack thereof with a father was either toxic or non-existent, and you're just kind of moving on from that energy now, and in effect kind of going down the line and removing the cords of the energies of other people who you just feel drained by or traumatized by in some way. But for others of you, this just could be, a situation, a friendship, just something you're leaving behind, getting closure on. And I just see that someone maybe had recently lost a loved one. This isn't new energy coming in this week, don't worry, but this closure feels like this will be the week that you finally have this sense of closure, that you can move on from whatever this was that had happened. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some more information for your week ahead, Group 2. What can Group 2 expect for the week ahead? Whoa! That doesn't happen every day. But the first card that really popped up for me here was Innocence. I have a whole list of them here. Oh my goodness. I'm going to have to pick those up later. They are everywhere. But then I can see a couple on the floor. There's one that says guarded and protected. One down there that says be gentle with yourself. So those may be additional messages, but I'm going to pick those up after our reading here. But innocence. There's this sense of innocence that you're being asked to tap back into this week. This childlike wonder almost. Like this guy's looking at this puppy with this loving expression on his face. So if life feels hard, like I just felt the need to take this really deep breath before I said that. So it's like if life has felt really hard or like you've really been weighed down by some heavy stuff going on in your life, this is saying, take that big deep breath and just ground yourself back in your body and then do something that you would have done as a child. Maybe hold a puppy and just spend some time, if you have a dog or a cat or a hamster, just spend some time just watching your pet do what it does. Pet the pet, love it, feed it, just watch it eat, watch it out in the yard if it goes outside. Just have this sense of childlike wonder as you just experience what your pet is doing. Or, something I enjoyed doing as a child was I loved to color. Maybe you can just lose yourself in coloring for a couple of hours. That's always something fun to do. Just something that's really relaxing that, really taps you back in with your inner child. And again, Six of Cups energy has really been coming up in a lot of my readings lately, and you guys are no exception. With this closure card, you're really wanting to close out some, heavier chapters of your life. But that doesn't mean to let go of the good memories. You can still use that sense of that Six of Cups to really look back on your life and feel this just nostalgia for what was, but not in a way where you're longing to get back there. Just that, okay, this used to be my experience. And you can bring those elements of your past that you really enjoyed into your future and present moment by just enjoying some innocence and some innocent activities. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some more information. Okay, what can Group 2 expect for the week ahead? I want this one. So we have New Beginnings, which is coming right under this closure card. Makes absolute sense. I'm going to get one more from this deck like we did in Group 1. Here we are. And Self-Love. Wow, this really, I love when the readings come together like this because it just lets us know that you really tapped into something. You tapped into this inner part of yourself. And with calling back your power from this protection card here we have for the card you used to select the pile, with self-love, it says here, now is the time to love, nurture, and heal yourself. Absolutely. Self-love is not simply a state of mind about feeling good. It's a state of appreciation for yourself that grows and matures from actions you take to support your body, mind, and soul. So some of you may be using this Six of Cups energy I was getting with the Innocence card to really reminisce about how cute you were as a little kid, how innocent you were, and just, especially if you have had your innocence taken away or, you've been hardened or jaded by the ways of the world, you can remember who you were as that beautiful child, that innocent child that just didn't know what to expect and was just, living in the moment. And she's right here embracing yourself. That might be something you can do right in this moment, is just to put your arms around yourself and just tell yourself, I love you. I know it sounds awkward, but I mean, the serotonin that will be released in your brain when you do something like that is going to be a really big benefit to you guys. Just try it. And even if you have to pause the video right now, if you're alone especially, that might be the best because someone might look over on the bus or something and see you hugging or something like, what is that person doing? But then again, if you're brave enough, hey, show that vulnerability. But why don't you try that right now? And I feel like you guys it's like that closure. You need a sense of closure so you can move on from, I think someone watching this is still reeling or dealing from the loss of a love partner. Either you parted ways, in irreconcilable differences, Maybe you got a divorce. Maybe you lost this person. Maybe they have crossed over. There's just this sense of loss. So whether you lost this person off the earth or you just lost them as a love partner, just a sense of closure and moving forward and learning to love yourself again is really going to help you this week have a sense of a new beginning coming from you. And I just want to read this card here too. It says, new beginnings. Everything in life is constantly vibrating and moving, and therefore continuously changing and evolving. Be aware that a new beginning is on the horizon. Have courage and faith, because right now life is trying to nudge you forward and move you in a new direction. So especially if you've had that rough go of things lately, life is nudging you forward, which sometimes when you're not ready to have that closure or move on from something, it feels really hard having that friction of you wanting to stay, but the universe trying to push you forward. It's a friction. I'm just seeing butting heads, like a friction going on. And when you can just kind of release and surrender to what is, and then learn to bring that self-love in, call your power back, that's when you can really step forward into this new beginning this week to really, take the reins of your future. Because the only moment that you have power within is the now moment. So if you're thinking so much about the past or so much about the future, you just have no control over much of what's going on. And it's okay to reminisce and have that 6 of Cups energy, or that, 2 or 3 of Wands energy where you're planning for the future. But just make sure you're still touching in with your present moment, being grounded in your body, so you can actually make changes in your life and take advantage of this new beginning that has, this new opportunity that is unfolding itself for you this week. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a self-care message for group number 2. What self-care ritual or thing can group 2 do this week to improve their life? Okay, so we have the movement card. So she's walking away from that door that she has closed behind her there. So for some of you, taking a walk around your block or a walk in nature, or just moving your body in some way, dancing, yoga, something that makes you feel alive is really going to benefit you this week. And it will help, especially when you're cutting cords, or as I say, pulling cords, moving on from the past, calling back in your power, learning that self-love. You guys have a busy week with a lot of internal stuff and closure. When you are doing all of these things, a lot of times the energy can really build up in our bodies when we're, doing a lot of internal work, and energy can pool and create little illnesses or little aches or pains. So it's really important when you're doing the inner work to also be moving your body to help the changes take effect. And I know it sounds kind of weird, but if you really think about it, it makes a lot of sense, because as within, so without. You're doing a lot of healing and mending on the inside, and of course it's going to reflect on the outside, but that energy needs to move. I just see Mars at least at the time of my posting, Mars will be going from retrograde back to direct. I think by the time that I post this, it will be already back in that forward motion. So that will be good for those of you watching at the time of my posting. But if you're watching this at a later date, just know that moving your body is really going to help you this week. Okay, so let's get one more little mini love message for my singles and my couples in group 2. What can group 2 expect in love life this week? Here we go. Worth waiting for. So it says here, divine timing is at work in your love life. So especially if you're that person I was talking about earlier that had lost their love of their life, or the one that they love, however you lost this person, whether you decided to walk away, they decided, they had crossed over, whatever the circumstance, just know that there is some divine timing at work in your love life, that there is someone on the horizon for you, or, if you're my single, you are worth waiting for. This isn't saying that the person you're looking for is worth waiting for, although I do believe they are, but this is just reminding you that you are worth waiting for. You are worth putting in the self-love and really getting, yourself back on track this week, so that you can put that signal out that you are worth love. You are worthy of being loved. And then the person that you will eventually be with, it's like they'll pick up on that signal. Even if you don't meet this person for 2 more years or something like that, just you doing this work is really going to help put you on that path to meet this person eventually. But for my couples, this could just be letting you know that you are worth waiting for, or the other person is worth waiting for, especially if you've had some difficult cycles at play in your relationship. Maybe you just have, either one of you has been working really hard at work and not having enough time to really spend quality time together, or maybe you've had too much quality time together to where you just need a break. It's going to be different for each of you, but divine timing is at work in your love life. And so just knowing that there are cycles within relationships that can be good or bad, they always come to an end, but when there is an ending, there is a new beginning. So if you are ending a more negative cycle within a relationship, I see a couple fighting about money or wondering where they're going to get the resources to make something happen. Maybe one in the couple wants to be able to renovate a bathroom or some area in the home, and the other one's like, no, do you not see the state of the world right now? We need to save every dime we can because, we don't know what tomorrow brings. Which is true all the time. We never know what tomorrow brings, but I just see little things like that at play within a relationship where one partner might want one thing and the other partner wants something either totally or slightly different. But just know that differences doesn't mean you have to break up and that's the end of it. This is just letting you know that sometimes you're in these cycles, but when they come to an end, it does really allow for a new beginning. So there is a new beginning at play, I think, in many of your love life, even if it's just this internal revelation that you are worth loving, you are worth waiting for. So I really do hope that resonated for you guys, Pile 2. You will have to let me know below what you thought. And as always, you guys, thanks again so much for all your likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things. And I really, truly do hope to see you right here back at the Den Creative. All right, bye. All right, group number 3, let's go ahead and find out what you can expect for the week ahead. And you guys used this card here to select your pile, and we have the Share Your Voice card. It says, come out of the cave, persecution and expression. So what I'm getting from this card is that a lot of you guys have been on this internal journey, either in like some sort of dark night of the soul, or you've really been working and focused on your inner work, your self-worth issues, breaking belief systems about, limiting belief systems about how you aren't good enough or you need to be better, something like that. But it's now time to step out of your hermitude or your solitude, your hermitude, that's a word I think I just made up, but I like it. So it's time to step out of that hermitude and really put yourself out there and share your voice, especially in speaking or communicating either by writing books, blog posts, sharing things on social media, talking to someone in person. Your voice and communication is going to be key for you guys this week. Expressing yourself, speaking your truth, or sharing ideas about things that really light you up is going to be key for you this week. Just ruminating and rehashing things that you saw on the news, like that's not the type of communicating we're talking about here. This is more sharing, being more vulnerable, sharing your truth with people, because it's really going to help and inspire others to do the same for themselves. And it says on this card, persecution, and I don't think you're going to be facing any persecution this week. What this is reminding me of is just maybe in past lives, you guys were persecuted for speaking your truth, and maybe that work you've been doing on yourself is just really breaking down those barriers of feeling like if you do speak your truth, you will be persecuted, because that's a thing of the past. The witches will no longer be burned is what I just heard. So be sharing your voice, speaking your truth. No matter how much your voice shakes, be speaking your truth this week, because the world needs to hear what you have to say is what I'm hearing. Okay, what else can group 3 expect for the week ahead? We got it right here. We have willpower. And this really, I think, goes well with what we were just talking about coming out of that cave, coming out of that hermitude. Like, I love that word. But willpower, you guys are, coming to this realization that you are more powerful than you gave yourself credit for in the past. And you're really going to be working with that this week and putting in that willpower to get the job done, whether you're working on your own creative projects, doing things around your home. I see someone wanting to clean out a garage or clear some clutter from maybe their bedroom or the living room. just around your home in general, really. I see someone who's like, I have way too many clothes. I need to get rid of some things. And this would be a great week to do so because you have this willpower, this passion, this wand energy behind you this week to really get some things done, especially if you've got this long to-do list. I don't feel like you have to put a lot of mental thought into these things that you need to get done. This is more physical stuff. So I even see someone wanting to like go through all the books on their shelf and figure out, do I want to read it? Have I even read it? If I haven't read it, maybe put it in a different section. If I'm not ever going to read it, or I've already read it, don't want to read it again, should I get rid of it? I see you just making these kind of mental decisions, but they're not big, like life-affirming, life-changing mental thoughts or decisions that you're making this week. But just putting in that elbow grease and clearing some clutter is really going to be important for you guys, I think. I don't know why I'm really getting that out of the willpower card, but I'm also getting just, you have this sense of courage behind the truth that you want to be speaking this week. So, oh wow, okay, so I just even saw someone this week is going to be telling their crush that they have a crush on them. That takes willpower, that takes courage to be able to do that. So if that's you, let us know how it goes. I think that's really awesome. Okay, what else can group 3 be expecting for the week ahead? Okay. So we have, you created this situation and you have the power to change it. Absolutely. And that's really going along with what we said about, coming out of your cave. We all are creating our own reality. This here, Archangel Michael is creating this painting, and then with this expression here, she's sitting here like looking out at the pyramids, and there's some little mountain tops here. So it's almost like you're really realizing, that you have created, like just for the example we used earlier about clearing out clutter. You've created this clutter by bringing in clothing or extra books that, maybe you weren't acting from a more conscious place of, do I actually need this book before you actually purchased it? Or do I need another sweater before you purchased it? But just you realizing that you created this situation you're in is going to help you realize you can get out of any situation you're in that you don't want to be in any longer, or to help transform whatever situations or relationships that you're in into something that will actually serve you and something that will reflect what you actually want to be experiencing. I think it's going to be really important for you guys to understand this week. Okay, what else can group 3 expect the week ahead? And I'm going to grab 2 from this deck. Find your center. Wow, I love when these readings really come together and just kind of reiterate what we were talking about. And we also have love. So to me, these cards almost look like the same exact person, same color scheme and everything. So this is very, red is very root chakra for me. So you guys are just really, that fight or flight, am I safe? Do I need to run? Kind of energy that has kind of been a theme in all 3 groups this week. So whatever's going on in the astrology this week, it may be really fitting for what's happening, but we'll just go ahead and read these cards. It says here, find your center. Your outside world is a reflection and a manifestation of what's going on inside you at this time. What were we saying? You created this situation and you have the power to change it. Your outside world is a creation of what you have going on the inside. Absolutely. So when the outside world becomes so hectic and stressful that your anxiety starts to overwhelm you, then this is an ideal moment to stop and ask, when was the last time I checked in with myself? So, coming out of the cave, I think many of you have really been checking in on yourself, at least ruminating about things that aren't really in alignment in your life, but that, hermitude we were talking about. I think many of you have already found that center, but it's just going to say to still be putting yourself out there but also, if I could speak, but also not losing that center that you have found while in your more hermit mode. Don't lose that center when you go back out in the world is really what I'm hearing. And then with this love card, it says, love is the foundation of your existence, and you're just as worthy of receiving as you are of giving love and compassion. While love can be a beautiful emotion, it is equally a form of energy that propels you through life. So many of you may just really be thinking about love or lack thereof in your life. It's going to be different for each of you because there are many different people watching this. So some of you are going to feel really loved and lovable, but others of you this week are going to feel like you want to be loved, you want to be lovable, and you already are lovable. I'm just going to put that out there. You already are lovable. It's just maybe some of you don't feel like you're getting that love back because I think it was in group 2 was talking about self-love. Maybe it was group 1. I don't remember. The information comes and then it flows, and sometimes I don't remember which group had what, but I think that self-love, that you've maybe gained in some of these darker nights of your soul that you've gone through, especially if you're on a more spiritual path or have been through a breakup or lost a job or lost a loved one, and you've really been in the thick of your own grief and just your own thoughts. Knowing that love is all there is. Fear is an illusion. False evidence appearing real. Fear. Love is all there is, and when we can really tap back into that heart center, that heart chakra, and get in touch with how much love we are made of and how much love is available. And I know it sounds cheesy and cliche, but really, when you are feeling your worst, put on a song that you can cry to, put on a song that makes you really feel into that heart center, and just allow yourself to feel whatever it is that's coming up. It doesn't have to even be lovable, but even just putting your hands on your heart as you listen to some music or whatever it is that makes you get in touch with your emotions. For me, it's music, so that's just an easy example. For someone else, it might just be getting in the shower and, letting the tears flow, or, taking care of yourself in whatever way that means to you. But just getting yourself through some heavy emotions that maybe you've been dealing with before this week started, allowing yourself to really feel some heavy emotions this week is going to help catapult you to a place where you feel more loving for others and for yourself. Okay, so talking about all that self-love and love and all that, let's go ahead and get a self-care message for you guys, group 3, for the week ahead. What is group 3's self-care message? Okay, I'm going to take the top one of these cards because we don't need 4 cards. Okay, so we have flow like water. And to me, that's really goes well with this Find Your Center card here. You guys are in the flow. Whether you know it or not, you have tapped back into that flow because you've realized that you've created whatever situation's going on. You've created this in your life. And when you can get into the flow of what's going on, you can, if it's not something you want to see, you can make that U-turn. Because it's like here, she looked like she was maybe kind of going above the surface here. But now she's taken a really sharp turn down. And, if you turn it this way, if you're in a river, she was going straight. Now she's taking a very sharp right off of her path. So this might, for some of you this week, look like you wanting to take a sharp turn in your life of some sort. Maybe you're changing jobs. Maybe you're just stepping into the unknown. But this is just a reminder, no matter what's going on, to flow like water. Find your center and just surrender to what is. That doesn't mean to be a victim, but it just means to realize it is what it is. Whatever's going on in your life, it is what it is. But once you can acknowledge it, you can take that sharp right if that's your prerogative. But we have the number 24 on this card, and 2 + 4 is 6. And 6 is that motherly, nurturing number, that number of unconditional love. So it's no wonder that we also have this love card here. Self-love especially, unconditional love for others especially, is going to be key for you guys to really make some big changes in your life this week. Even if they're not external changes like we were talking about, maybe still more that hermit mode going on, but you're still really sharing your voice and putting yourself out there this week on top of all the internal battles and things that you have going on inside as well. Okay, so what can group 3 expect for their love life in the week ahead? We'll get a mini message for our singles and our couples alike. Okay, what can group 3 expect? And it's right here. Getting to know each other. Okay, so for my couples, Whether you've been together for a very long time or this is still a really new relationship, it doesn't matter. We can always get to know each other better. We can always learn something else about our significant other. But it says here, as you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. And I think for some of you, it's going to be key to share your voice, to speak your truth, to show that vulnerability to your loved one or your partner this week. Just sharing what you feel, like what your fears are, what your hopes are, what your dreams are. Whatever comes up for you guys this week with your lover, just be vulnerable because it will be well received from your other half. For my singles, you may have someone on your radar that you're getting to know, but as you really start getting to know this person, you're going to realize that either this is a good fit for you or this is someone you definitely don't want to be in a relationship with. And then for others of you that are my singles that don't really have anyone on the radar, maybe this week you will start getting to know someone better. I see you actually chatting up someone at work that you don't normally talk to. Or maybe a customer or a client comes in and you kind of are getting to know each other a little bit. And maybe you exchange numbers. I don't know. I feel like I see like 6 timelines just going like off in different directions, kind of like this one here. This is going to be very, very specific to you, so I'm not going to go into very much detail, but getting to know each other. This could even be just letting people in on your inner world a little more, and then in effect, they will let you in on their inner world a little bit more. Friends, family, lovers, all of the relationships in your life, I feel, are going to deepen when you can share your voice this week. Okay, group 3, I think that's all I'm seeing for you. But you will have to let me know below what you thought and if this message resonated for you today. And as always, you guys, thanks again so much for all your likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things. And I really, truly do hope to see you right back here at The Den Creative. All right, bye.